it's me, Kelly here again. So today I wanted to talk to you about the importance of finding people to talk to when you're learning a language. Now, there's lots of different schools of thought on this. Some people believe that you should talk from the beginning, and other people believe that you should not talk from the beginning. They believe that you should have more exposure to the language, learn the grammar rules, and then start talking. But from my own experience, I found that actually it's better to start speaking from the beginning. And I'll give you a little bit of my story so that you can understand where I'm coming from. So I'm learning both Afrikaans and French, and I started learning French at school when I was 9 years old. And so I've been learning it on and off, and I'm 37 now, so I'll let you do the math on that. So I've been learning French on and off for a very long time, so you would think that my French level would be reasonable. But I'm also learning Afrikaans, and I've been learning Afrikaans for just under 3 years now, and my Afrikaans is way above my French. I would say in French I am a low beginner, and in Afrikaans I'm an intermediate, and I really put that down to the two different approaches. So anyone that's learnt a language through the British school system, it may have changed now, I don't think it's changed that much, but certainly in the 90s we had very grammar based lessons. So most of our lessons were learning grammar rules that the teacher would write up on the board, and we'd be copying them into our books. And also she'd write up word lists, and we'd have to learn the word lists, cramming them into our brains. And there was a little bit, 5 or 10 minutes, that you might do on listening or speaking at the end, but really that was it. And even I did live in France. I lived and worked in France for 6 months in 2005, but the job that I was doing didn't really require me to speak French, and I tried a little bit, but not really. I didn't have to speak it, so I didn't. But with the Afrikaans, I've taken a very different approach. Really, from day one, before I could even really say much, I started speaking and finding people to talk with. And I remember my very first Afrikaans conversation, I couldn't really say anything. I could say hello, I knew how to ask how somebody was, how to say something was good, and really that was it. And like I say, now I can speak so much more Afrikaans than I can French, and I really do put that down to speaking early on. So where do you look for people to speak to? I recommend italki because that's where I found people to speak to. Now, if you don't know italki, they have language tutors and language teachers all around the world teaching almost any language you can think of. So you can go on there and you can find a teacher or a community tutor. Community tutors are similar to teachers, but they just don't have those qualifications behind them. And also you can find language partners. So you can say, I'm learning Afrikaans, and an Afrikaans person's learning English. We could decide to meet on Skype for an hour. I could speak for half an hour in Afrikaans, they would correct me. They would speak for half an hour in English, and I would correct them. So italki is really a great source, but there's lots of other websites out there that do similar things. So you look on sites like that to find people. Now, if you're learning a popular language like French, Spanish, English, then you have a whole host of people to choose from. So how do you choose? Well, really a lot of it's trial and error, and as people we always instinctively know who we, after we've had a short conversation with somebody, whether we're comfortable with that person or not. So try out lots of different people on there, whether it's tutors, teachers or language partners. So me personally, I look for somebody who I feel comfortable talking to, so I have to automatically feel comfortable with that person. And also somebody who you're interested in. That person also needs to be interesting to you. If you feel comfortable with that person and you're interested in them, you're going to want to open up and share your life with them as well. So that's important. Also, another thing, and probably the most important thing, is you need to be able to or it needs to be somebody who can correct you in the right way. Now, okay, everybody's different, so probably everybody likes to be corrected in a different way, but I really do think that nobody likes to be corrected in a horrible way. So you need to find somebody who is going to give you constructive criticism, who's going to say, okay, you're really good at this, but this is something that you could work on, and maybe give you a few pointers how you could work on it. Or if you're consistently making the same mistake, when they're correcting you on that mistake, they're not saying, oh, you did that mistake again, blah, 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 and make you feel awful about it. So when you've finished speaking to that person, you should feel on a high. You should have your list of things that you're happy about, but also have your list of things that, okay, these are the areas that I struggled on. These are the things I need to work on. Let's get to it. Let's work on those things. Not, oh, this is what I did really awfully and I just feel so terrible about myself and I'm going to have to go and have a cup of tea and eat a huge great big chocolate bar to console myself. No, you should feel on a high after your lessons and or your sessions with your language partner, and that's how I feel with mine. I'm not perfect every lesson, far from it. But at the end of the lesson, very rarely do I feel deflated, only if I myself am having a bad time with something completely different generally, but not because of my tutors. I always, feel that they give me really constructive criticism. I know what my weaknesses are. I know that I'm going to work on them, but I don't feel down about it. I might feel frustrated with myself, but I don't feel terrible about it. So finding somebody who's going to correct you in the right way, a way that's good for you, is, a constructive criticism way, somebody who you're interested in. You need to be interested in that person. Perhaps you share similar interests, or perhaps you're just interested in the country that they come from, or the culture that they come from, or their particular lifestyle. And somebody who makes you feel comfortable. So I definitely think go out and speak sooner rather than later. And that really is everything I have to say for the moment on this. I'll link the italki website below. If you have any opinions or any experiences in your own language learning on talking sooner or talking later, or you've got any recommendations, comment below. I would love to hear from you. And that's everything I have to say on this topic for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, have a great day, bye for now.